Hello and welcome to Fintech Ki Baat with Idfy. Today we have with us Mr. Ashok, who is the founder of Idfy. So, hello sir and welcome to the GFF Fest officially.
Hi.
So, how is the journey so far of GFF?
GFF.
Yeah. Of
GFF
GFF. How is it treating you so far?
so far today, it's been a mad rush. I think it's a mela, but I think we've had some great people show up. So I think the conversations have been amazing. So we are glad that we participate in this we participate for the last 3 years. This has been probably the biggest amongst all the last three.
Yes. So now let's talk about Idfy. What is Idfy all about?
So we detect fraud and we detect fraud in transactions. So we eliminate fraud, establish trust in transactions. That's our core pitch.
Okay.
Now, in that sense, what we do is essentially we authenticate individuals as well as enterprises at the time of onboarding across practically every use case you can think of, from gaming to banking to delivery to e-commerce. And in that process, what we end up doing is we've done close to about 65 million authentications a month. We are probably the largest in this space. And it's been a wonderful journey of 13 years.
Yes. So, any new launches that Idfy has done this year or coming up or has done in GFF? What about that?
So yeah, this year we launched our DPDP compliance product. It's called Privy. It's Privy from the house of Idfy. So we're kind of treating this as Unilever kind of thing. So so it's a suite of about 5 products which are which solve for DPDP compliance. Probably the biggest thing that we've come out this year. We've also launched our basically what we do is we look at financial transactions and see what kind of risk those transactions have. So we have a risk product that we have launched as well. We've launched a lot of smaller products as well, like something like Vehicle, which kind of tells you if the vehicle that a person's riding or has fraud and things around that. Especially useful in the insurance space, where we're giving a loan for a vehicle. Those kind of things. That's something which we've been doing.
So, I'm sure you must be in a very good company, at a good position, career stable है, सब सही चल रहा है. Why get into this startup sector?
Yeah, so when I told my dad about that I was going to start Idfy, my dad said, I was in London, I was at BT in a strategy team there. My dad said, who does this?
Yeah.
It's such a great job.
Yeah.
You're earning enough. Wife is also earning. Wife was an investment banker. We were dinks, double income, no kids.
Yes.
So it was fabulous, like life in London.
Okay.
But yeah, you had to do something, right? Like in the sense we wanted to. It wasn't necessarily to start a company. It was actually to solve a problem, right? So and the problem of fraud is big enough, and we thought, hey, it might be interesting to do something like this.
So what's with this name, Idfy? Why?
It's Identify.
Okay, it's a short form for
Identify.
Okay.
Right. So we wanted, when we started, we wanted it to become a verb. So, अपने Identify कर लिया.
Identify कर लिया. So,
Google कर लिया.
Yeah. So basically, being a startup founder and in this ecosystem is not so easy. So, and it takes a toll on your mental health.
Yes.
Your everything is screwed up.
Yeah.
So, how was the journey like?
So I mean, in all honesty, I think when I talk to founders, a lot of us are going through significant mental issues, like anxiety, stress. I'm open about this. Is that I did have an anxiety problem and had an attack last year, panic attack and things like that. So, the journey is not for everyone, and what you're doing it for has to be meaningful, right? Like it's not for the money as much as it is for solving a problem. If it is for the money, then you could have joined a company and earned enough and had a great life, right? So I think we're also a weird beast as entrepreneurs, because we know we are doing something tough, but that's also the part of the thrill.
Right.
So it's almost like an addiction, if you may.
So, did you have any safety net when you tried to take the plunge? कुछ था दिमाग में कि नहीं चला तो बॉस क्या करेंगे?
Yeah, my wife was an investment banker. She was earning enough.
तो चल जाएगा. तो चल जाएगा.
She was my sugar mama, so.
Okay.
So wife supported me, right? Like that's the biggest thing. I think there has to be some support at home, and
so that may also gave you the strength to take up the.
That's right. I put a lot of what we do, what I do today is on the back of how Mukti supported me.
Yes.
That's it.
So everybody talks that having a right co-founder is very important. They sometimes even say कि भाई जैसे marriage के लिए एक partner ढूंढते हो वही process के साथ आप एक co-founder ढूंढो. So you think that this comparison is fair enough and उतने शिद्दत से having a right co-founder is कितना important है एक company के लिए एक startup journey के लिए?
I think the way I look at it, we are a 6-member leadership team,
Okay.
right? We are the team that makes this happen.
Okay.
So the way I look at it is that we are all co-founders in this business. As in,
Right.
even though people might have joined at different times, the 6 of us, or maybe even the larger team, which maybe 20 of us, are actually running the show.
Okay.
So we do take a lot of pain in choosing the people that we want to go in that ride
Right.
with, right? And I think a co-founder or even the people that you hire, you have to think about it from a
Right, that's
from a perspective of can we work with these people for a long period of time. So which as a result, Idfy doesn't have a very high attrition rate because of the way we've
Right.
kind of thought through this.
So I want to know about the mistakes that you did
Yeah.
during the startup journey, and you want to pass on your knowledge to those who are just starting up the business or they are thinking to get into this space. But भाई ये नहीं करना वरना बहुत बुरा फंसोगे. What
So
is this?
I think hiring the wrong people.
The team is
the
important.
team is super important. We have made mistakes. One bad apple can destroy the culture. So, for example, I think 5-6 years ago, by hiring some wrong people, the culture got destroyed, and that for us it then took 2 more years to fix that. Even though we took a call in 6 months.
Yes.
So be very careful about who you hire. Skill is not sufficient. Actually, skill is not the most important. It's actually attitude, and people have to have the right kind of attitude for the culture that you build.
Yes.
Ours is a kind of a more friendly kind of culture. Like we are not
Yes.
as
Not as the typical.
like typical this thing, and that means that those are the kind of people that you need to bring in.
Yes. And what is one thing that you want to share? Ki just a piece of advice to those budding entrepreneurs out there.
Share wealth. It is very, very important, in my opinion, that there are a lot of people in the org who make money from the eventuality of a startup. I see too many startups, which $1 billion startups, where only the CEO makes money, rest of them are not making enough, right? And I don't think that's fair. These are people who are in the journey with you. I think it pays off over a long period of time, and that's where I take inspiration from the Narayan Murthys and the Nandan Lerkes
Yes.
and the Chris Krishans of the world, because
Yes.
they shared so much wealth. Of late, we tend to think that ESOP pool, like we don't need to
Yes.
be high enough,
Yes.
and it's just, I think that's something which I would say.
So, COVID was the time when everything was shut down. कभी लगा कि ये crash हो जाएगा, या कभी ऐसे thoughts आए दिमाग में कि boss, there's unpredictable, we can have a
Yeah.
hit as well.
So I mean, we've died almost 4 times as
Four
a company.
times.
4 times.
So how did you survive? Because 4
I'll
times
explain.
is not a joke.
4 times is not a joke. So first time was in 2012. We ran out of capital. We had 12 people in the company. I went to my team and I said, hey, we have 2 months of money left. I'm going to try to raise, but I don't know. So if you guys want to look for a job, go
You
ahead.
were open about it.
That's one of the things in Idfy. We are very open about what's going on. So these 12 people said, अगर डूबेंगे तो साथ में डूबेंगे, pay मत करना. Don't pay us for until you
Right.
get funding, and we'll see how long
Right.
this lasts, right?
Right.
And that was one big thing, right? Like the support of and this is what I meant about
Right.
having the right kind
Right.
of team. And when you ask them why was that the case, why did you say that? They said that this is the best company we ever worked for. We don't want it to die. So that became one
Right.
big anchor. Is the team and
The teamwork.
the team working together. In 2015, again we went through crisis mode, which then again funding happened. So it was okay. It wasn't too bad compared to the first one. And we had 2017 when whole India stack, everything. You look at Aadhaar was stopped. So we had to completely change the business to what it is today. Which is now a KYC business and a KYB business, and then COVID happened. And we decided that we were not going to fire anyone
Okay.
during COVID, but we didn't have enough cash, so we asked everyone, because we have a lot of people in the operations as well, and they don't make as much as things. So we all asked, like, I don't want to fire anyone. So what do we do? Everybody said, cut the salaries. So we all took massive pay cuts to make sure that no one, not even the security guard, not even our cleaners, not even our outsourced staff that we use, are fired. So that is how sort of.
I believe the values that you have set in your company, the teamwork and जो लोग साथ में रह रहे, that is your strength. That is what I'm analyzing from the
That's
whole
right.
conversation.
That's right. It is a team that we have. I think we have
So
built.
team is very important in
Yeah.
having a good startup.
And no, especially if you're gonna want to last for a long time.
For
and,
a long,
Yeah.
lambi race ka ghoda.
Lambi race ka ghoda, and if you hit the brakes, like if something happens, the team is the only one that you need to
That's
figure
gonna
out how
help.
many people are in your boxing ring, how many people can you tap and
Right.
they fight with you. That's not going to come when you're mercenaries. That's going to come when you're patriots. So there's this whole article around patriots versus mercenaries. I believe you built for patriots. Independent struggle, mercenaries se nahi hota.
Right. Yes. So last question for the day. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Me, I would say easygoing. I love laughing, and therefore easygoing is one. Second, I'm a techie, and I think very good with family and friends.
Oh. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It
you.
was lovely talking to you, and thank you so much.
Thank
Wish
you.
Idfy great success ahead.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.